Let's dive into a modern fable by Jean Desti that asks a really timeless question. What's the real price of being loved? It has all the magic of a classic fairy tale for sure, but trust me, its lesson on self-worth is something every single one of us needs to hear.
And of course, our story begins just like you'd expect. Once upon a time. This line pulls you right in, but it immediately throws us a curveball. We've got a princess who is brilliant, accomplished, seems to have it all figured out, except for this one huge thing. She has no idea what love is.
So let's get to know this princess. She is definitely not your typical damsel in distress waiting around to be rescued. No, she's a woman with immense skill and intellect, a total ruler in her own right. Her problem isn't some dragon or an evil curse. It's something way more personal and honestly, way more relatable.
I mean, the story makes it clear right away how incredibly competent she is. She's a master of finance, counting treasures with this golden and silver abacus. She's so good at magic, she can even impress the kingdom's wizard. By all accounts, she is a complete person. The only thing she feels is missing? A partner who she sees as her equal.
Then, something totally unexpected comes into her life. It's not a suitor, not a knight in shining armor, but a gift from the wizard named simply Dog. And she loves this creature instantly, not just because it's beautiful, but because it's silent. It gives her this connection without any demands, just quiet companionship that fits perfectly into her world.
And just like that, the love she's been looking for finally shows up. A prince arrives. But you know how these things go. What seems like the perfect answer comes with a hidden catch, and it's a really, really challenging one. On paper, they look perfect, right? She's powerful and knowledgeable, he's handsome and noble. It seems like a great match. But then you get to that last line. She is tall and he is short. And for the prince, this one physical difference completely overshadows everything else. His insecurity becomes this giant wall between them.
So the princess who really wants to make this work actually considers diminishing herself, literally making herself shorter, for him. But her wisest advisor, the wizard, gives her some very firm, very clear advice. He tells her, do not shrink yourself for anyone, not even a single inch. It's such powerful advice that tragically, she decides to completely ignore.
So despite that stark warning from the wizard, the princess gets so desperate for the prince's love that she decides to pay an incredibly heavy price. She starts sacrificing these fundamental parts of her own identity.
And it doesn't happen all at once. First, to hide her height, she just stops walking. She lets people carry her everywhere, erasing her ability to stand on her own 2 feet. Then, she stops speaking. She silences her own thoughts, her own voice. It's this slow, deliberate erasure of the very things that made her who she was.
And why did she do all this? It was all driven by this deep, deep desire to be loved. This isn't just a story about a foolish princess. It's a commentary on how that need for acceptance can lead us to abandon the things that define us, piece by painful piece, until there's almost nothing left.
Now, as she gives up more and more of herself, you'd think the prince's insecurity would fade away. But it doesn't. Instead, it just finds a new target. His jealousy turns to the one true, unconditional relationship the princess has left.
The prince becomes jealous of her silent, loyal friend, the dog. He just can't stand seeing her share her affection with anyone else, not even a creature that gives her simple, quiet comfort. And this is the moment his insecurity just curdles into pure cruelty, setting the stage for the story's absolute heartbreaking climax. Faced with the prince's ultimatum, she holds her friend and speaks this absolutely devastating line. It is a moment of profound loss, but it's also the breaking point. By acknowledging that the dog was the one who truly loved her, she's finally starting to see the truth of her situation. This is the catalyst. This is what changes everything.
You know, sometimes hitting rock bottom is the only thing that forces you to see clearly. For the princess, this awful loss leads to an equally profound epiphany. In her grief, she rediscovers the one thing she had sacrificed so long ago, her own voice.
And for the first time in forever, she speaks. And what she says, it's just the raw, unvarnished truth. She admits her mistake, no excuses. She calls her friend wise and the prince foolish, a complete 180 from the value she had placed on them before. Her voice is back, and with it, so is her clarity.
And this realization brings her to the core lesson of this entire story. She finally gets what true love actually is. It is not about making yourself smaller to fit into someone else's world. It's not about sacrificing your voice or your strength, True love is the ability to stand tall on your own 2 feet as your true, authentic self.
With this realization, the princess isn't just reborn, she's completely remade. She's no longer defined by what she lacks or who she's with. Nope, she's defined by her own strength and her own principles. This is the final act of her transformation.
And as if to mark this huge change, a stranger appears carrying a banner with a white rose. Now, a white rose can often symbolize an ending or death, but here, the story makes it clear this is a symbol of rebirth. This signals that it's not the end for the princess, but a powerful, brand new beginning.
And this is her new resolution. It's simple, it's clear, and it's absolute. The princess who once gave up walking so she wouldn't seem too tall now makes a vow to herself that she will never, ever bow to anyone again. She's reclaimed her stature, both literally and figuratively.
And she leaves us with her new code, her personal mantra, and it perfectly sums up everything she's learned. Speak your mind, stand on your own 2 feet, and, so importantly, cherish and protect the ones who offer you true, unconditional love. It's a pretty powerful set of principles to live by, don't you think?
So as we wrap this up, the story leaves us with a question to really think about. The princess learned her lesson the hard way, and it kind of asks us to look at our own lives. What are the things that make you, you? Your sense of humor, your voice, your passions, your friendships. What are the parts of yourself that are truly non-negotiable?